Hello, my dear friends. Happy New Year's. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday season. Do think this will probably be my first video back, at least it's the first one that I'm recording. So I wanted to focus a little bit on some of the reflections that happened over the holiday season for me. And it kind of ties in nicely with the entire New Year's resolution. I know that even though if you don't call it a New Year's resolution, I feel that end of year, beginning of year is a very important time that most of us tend to be more reflective over what happened in the past year and things that we want to have more of in our life. Even though it might not be health related, it might have nothing to do with weight. I'm hoping that it has nothing to do with weight because that shouldn't be our only goal in life, which is to lose weight or to look in a certain way. There's so much more in life than how we physically look. Around this holiday time, we did a lot of gardening here at home. It was a little bit on the chillier side, but we were doing some research. When I say we, I mean mainly JP. I was just going along for the ride. We were seeing that you have to start planting and kind of prepping everything so you can actually start getting your garden ready for springtime, which is when things are, hot and sprouting. So it got me thinking a lot about gardening. It got me thinking a lot about food. I want you to stop 1 minute, right? Think about what you ate in your last meal, whether it was, I had actually a lot of vegetables, right? So I had like broccoli, carrots, a few other ones too. But anyways, it's a long list. If you think about, I want you to stop and think about what you ate and how it got to that, how it got to your plate. Because we have to see food in a different way, not only in terms of a way of energy, also in terms of nutrition, which is like, right, your vitamins, your minerals, something that's, going to nourish your body, mind, and soul. But I want you to think, above and beyond that. Where is that coming from? Go back to the little seed. Think about most of the things that we eat without, if we're not talking about something super duper processed that was born out of a lab.
Out of an experiment in a lab.
So think about your fresh, foods. Where it came from. It came from the seed and everything that went into that little seed sprouting and giving fruits and all of that, and then to getting to your plate. A lot of sweat, tears, love, frustrations, a lot of hard work went into getting that food to your plate. So unless you have your own garden, in which case, hats off to you, man, because I really started to think about how long things take to sprout. We had, I think in terms of our garden, we had the most success with our eggplant and our tomatoes. We actually got a really decent harvest of tomatoes, but they were the really tiny ones. So it was more like we would have 5 little tiny tomatoes every few weeks, So I guess it wouldn't really call it that successful, but we got things out of it. And the eggplant, we actually did get a lot, but it was a lot of work. And it got me thinking of like, okay, one of my main tips in nutrition is to have half of your plate in every single meal consisting of vegetables and fruits, because that's where you get your vitamins, minerals, all the amazing stuff. That's like very nutrient dense foods, right? So then I really went crazy with that. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I wanted to grow my own food, that's like impossible to me. That sounds impossible to fill half of your plate of things from the garden, because we're already struggling with getting 5 little eggplants or 5 little tomatoes. It got me thinking a lot. I don't know if I'm going on some weird journey over here and I've lost you. I hope I haven't, so come back. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because of the direction that I started going into, right? It basically gave me a new perspective on food. It made me appreciate it even more than I already did. I mean, I'm already a huge believer that food is medicine, food is nourishment. Like for me, food is life. not only from the sense of offering you nutrients, but like the experience behind it. It's love, like, so it's just amazing. It's pleasure, right? Food can be extremely pleasurable. It connects people. So it's so much more than calories. It's so much more than something that makes you gain weight or something that makes you lose weight. So I invite you to have some reflections about food as well. But thinking about the garden component of it and even extending that connection and expanding my vision of what food truly is made me, like I said, just appreciate it and take that appreciation to the next level. And it became almost like a personal mission, even more so, to work on not having food waste because, like I said, a lot went into that little vegetable that's staying in the back of your fridge for weeks, just spoiling and rotting away that you're going to throw out. A lot went into that. So with this growth and an appreciation of food, I actually started exploring more in my kitchen as well and doing my best not only to avoid having things going having things going bad on the back of my fridge, but also making sure that I used everything from a fruit and a vegetable. One of my latest experiments, you might have seen it already in social. If you haven't, go check it out. Or on the Nutrinut blog, I also posted the recipe there. But one of my latest experiments was actually using the pineapple peel to make this almost like pineapple tea of sorts, to infuse it into a cake to bring out that little pineapple flavor in there. So it was a very different experience of buying a fruit in the supermarket and doing your very best to use every single thing from it. The other thing that every single part, right? The other thing that I also used from the pineapple, that little hard middle, sometimes it's okay to eat it and it's doable, but sometimes it's a little too hard. So when I peel my pineapple, I tend to remove that little middle. And what I did with it was actually a pineapple mint juice. I actually have mint in my garden. So I plucked a few leaves and just made a little juice out of it. And and of course, a lot of the fiber is left out from the peel and from that little core. So what I did is I took that fiber and kind of put it on top of the soil of my herbs as a form of, to feed the soil, also give some of that back to the soil. And it's a win-win, right? Nothing is going to the trash with the exception of the crown. Unfortunately, I didn't do anything with that, but it was just such a different experience using everything and having minimal parts of the fruit or the vegetable going to waste. So I set the challenge for you as well. A few things, right? I don't mean, it can be a bit of a stretch, maybe depending where you are in your journey, to think of, okay, I'm going to use everything from make my pineapple peel cake. You don't have to go there if you're not ready, if you don't want to go there. But I do invite you to think of food in that sense, right? Expand your horizons when you see it. See it as more than just calories in and something that you have to burn afterwards in the gym or working out because you don't want to gain weight. Think of everything that goes behind it. It's a way of nourishing our bodies. It's a way of connecting, bringing that connection back to nature. And the other thing, do your best to avoid food waste. One of the things that I love to incorporate into my social media is practicing leftover Fridays. And what that basically means is just getting all of your food in the end of every week and just making sure that you're using everything. So it will save you money, honestly, because if you're throwing something out, you're throwing money away. You'll also get more, nutrients in your body because you'll make sure that you're nourishing your body the right way with more veggies, with more fruits, with more fresh foods that are not a science experiment. That's what nutrition is about. That's what food is about. So a little reflection for you guys there to start the year, my message for you. And share with me also some of whatever New Year's resolutions you have going on. It doesn't have to be related to nutrition, to sustainability. Just want to see where you guys are at and what this new year has been inspiring you to do. So hope you guys have an amazing year. I look forward to being together in this journey with you guys through 2021. If by any chance you're seeing this in the future, whatever year we're at, hopefully it's better than what is happening right now momentum wise. And until next time.